Welcome back to Trad Rod and Custom. I'm Oliver, and in today's video, I'm flying to Detroit. The main reason I'm flying out to Michigan is to film the Gilmore and the Henry Ford Museum. But you know what? I figured while I was out there, I'd bring you folks along and show you some fun stuff a car guy can get into trouble doing in the Motor City. Some good places to eat, some fun sights to see. Let's go check it out. Hope you guys enjoy. And feel free to chime in the comments. Well guys, we made it to Detroit. I was supposed to have a Camry, and instead I have a brand spanking new Toyota Tacoma. Anyway, I haven't eaten all day. Been on planes and stuff since 4 this morning. So I'm gonna go get some Polish food from Hamtramck, which I've heard isn't quite as good as it used to be, but I've always wanted to go get some Polish food from Hamtramck, so it's on my list. I'm headed to do it. That's where we're going. We got a lot of stuff to see on this trip, so hang in there. Well, now some of you might remember a TV show from the 1990s called Home Improvement. That show starred Tim Allen. He played Tim the Toolman Taylor, and they were based in Detroit. Now, of course, it was shot in Hollywood studios and such out there in California, but still, it was based in Detroit, and that's where Tim Allen actually spent a portion of his childhood growing up. Now, in the show, Tim often would go out and pick up some Polish food from stands in Hamtramck. They'd always give him bad gas, and it's kind of the gag line of the show. Well, I grew up watching that show with my old man, and I always kind of wondered what Hamtramck was and what Polish food was all about. Now, I've had kielbasa sausage, I'm sure like most of you probably have, but have you ever really had real Polish food? If you have, leave it in the comments. Where's the best Polish food you've ever had, and what's your favorite Polish dish? Now, for me, since I'm out here in Detroit and I'm starving, I thought, what a better time am I going to find than right now to go check out Hamtramck and try some authentic Polish food. A couple of buddies of mine told me that it isn't quite what it once was, but you know what? I think it's still worth going and checking out. So I hit up the old Google on the interweb, and I looked up the best reviewed places in Hamtramck, and I found 2, and they aren't too far apart. One's coming up here on our left. It's the Polish Village Cafe. Now that one ranked pretty well. I think it had something like 4.7, 4.9 out of 5 stars. Can't much beat that. And then right next door, there's another Polish restaurant. Well, not quite right next door. There's a house there. But there's the Polish Village Cafe, which is a real old joint. And then right over here is Polonia. So I was kind of weighing the 2 of those out, but Polish Village Cafe had some better reviews, and I wanted to go check it out. Plus, it's a real nice old place. You walk downstairs, it's kind of like a split level, and has kind of Cheers vibes, if you guys remember that show. Ted Danson, Woody Harrelson. So anyway, you drop down here to this sunken bar restaurant. It's cash only, cash and checks only, I think, something like that. But they got a free ATM out in the lobby. And it's got a great atmosphere. So I come on down here and I start looking at their menu and thinking, well, shoot, I got to try a few things, right? So I'm definitely going to try some pierogi. I've heard people talk about pierogi. It's kind of like a dumpling, but something I've never really tried before. And then I got to try the plocky. That's like a potato pancake. It's a staple in Polish restaurants, from what I hear. Again, no first-hand experience. And then I got to try the Polish plate. That's a nice stuffed cabbage and, you know, few mixed things, little kielbasa sausage there. There's the plocky. And I'll tell you what, out of the pierogi I tried, the sweet cheese were absolutely amazing. They were awesome. But my favorite Polish dish, hands down by far, was kielbasa soup. I've never had anything like it. I'm going to have to figure out how to make it at home. It's almost like a chowder, but with kielbasa sausage. It was excellent. Well, after a little shut-eye, my next stop was the Ford Piquette plant. Now this is the plant where Henry Ford made the Model T for the masses. Here's a little recreation of what his office looked like, at least mostly, based on a picture they got of it. He didn't even keep any money in that safe. That's where he kept all the blueprints and secret plans. Pretty neat guy. Anyway, this plant was owned by Ford for a long time. It was owned by 3M. There's his office as it was. And then it was owned by Studebaker, I believe. I think they made cars here too. But after a while, it got preserved and became a historic landmark, and they fixed it up. Now they do tours here. Doesn't hardly cost anything either. It's worth stopping by. There's a lot of neat things to see. Even show you the top secret design and development room where they came up with all the secret plans for all the new stuff. I'm not going to show you that. I don't want to ruin the tour. So I'm going to show you a couple highlights here real quick, but generally I'd say you should come check it out. It's worth looking at. Next up was Veneta's Garage. Now this place was awesome. Definitely worth stopping if you're a car guy. The atmosphere's great, the food's even greater, and it's right on Woodward Avenue. Now Woodward Avenue, for those of you who don't know, in Michigan, in Detroit, that's the gut. That's where everybody went stoplight to stoplight back in the day and cruised. Now you could have seen some of the fastest hot rods and some of the baddest muscle cars back in the day on Woodward Avenue. Vincetta's is worth checking out, though. Try the cheese curds and the pizza. They were great. I really enjoyed it, and the atmosphere, you just can't top it. Not a lot of places like that back home. Next up on our journey is going to be Henry and Clara Ford's Fair Lane Estate. Now, if I recall correctly, Fair Lane is named after the place in Ireland where Henry's family came from. I think might have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Now, they moved in here around 1915. I'll give you an idea how old this place is. And I believe they moved in with Edsel, their son. Now, this place is pretty expansive and it's pretty neat. The inside is unfortunately closed for renovations, but they'll be doing tours again as soon as they get that all finished up. Keep your eyes open. We might see Henry walking around out here somewhere. It's really an impressive home when you think about it being over 100 years old. Now, when I got this far, I saw this little door down here, and I'll be honest, it had me stumped. I walked down here and peeked inside, and there's a big hole in the floor. I couldn't figure out if it's like an indoor pool or something. Some patio tables in there. So I decided to investigate, walk around the outside here, and see what I could find. And when I got down here, I thought, man, that kind of looks like a water would run in there. Like maybe it was a indoor-outdoor pool or a boathouse of some kind. Problem with it being a boathouse is it isn't connected up to the Rogue River over there. Peeked inside here and not much to see. Really had me fooled. I couldn't wrap my head around it. Then I decided to go outside and start poking around and found a placard. I'll be dipped. That used to be the Henry Ford and Clara Ford boathouse. Now, they plugged it up. It used to go all the way into the Rogue River, but in the 50s, when the Rogue River got polluted, they plugged it all up and keep the pollution from coming in, I guess. Clara Ford's brother lived only a mile downstream, so it's kind of a handy way for them to go back and forth to see each other. Now, I'm walking back from the pond where they used to do all their ice skating. You really get a nice picture of this patio out here. All these double doors. You can kind of picture the Fords out here in the 1920s cavorting with all their wealthy friends and entertaining guests. It's pretty neat. It's really incredible that this house is over 100 years old. It just seems like an old castle in some ways, but seems like it couldn't possibly be that old in others. I really enjoyed touring the grounds, but after that, I had to load up and head on over to the Henry Ford Museum. This is a pretty neat campus over here. Hey guys, we are out here at the Ford Plant Complex, Automotive Hall of Fame, and the Henry Ford Museum. Greenfield Village is out here as well. I really wish I could go do that, but it's closed still to the public for just a couple more days, unfortunately. But get a load of this place, huh? I mean, it's monstrous. So of course this is now lunchtime on this day, and first thing I had to do is go over and check out this dining car they have over here. And I'm a sucker for these early dining car kind of setups. Pretty neat little piece of history. It's really fun to soak it all in and imagine a different time, you know. It was fun. Don't expect a whole lot out of the food, but It was all right. It's all about the experience. But the Henry Ford Museum is pretty cool. I will encourage you guys to subscribe and hang in there. My next video is going to be on the Henry Ford Museum exclusively, and I'll be showing a whole lot more of it. But just giving you some highlights here, showing you kind of what to expect and a little bit of a teaser for that upcoming video. So keep your eyes open for that. There's a Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz, just like Dan has. There's the Kennedy car. All kinds of neat advertising and stuff. And, you know, Henry Ford was a bit of a collector, so it's not too surprising that he saved some of these things. Although some of these things definitely came after his time. Everything inside, from trains, cars, airplanes. You can even go up and sit inside this locomotive here. Pretty impressive. What museum's complete without a Duesenberg too, huh? And a cord. I think there's 2 cords if I recall correctly. A lot of neat racing history here. A lot of really cool stuff to see. There's a lot of very unique things that have been collected here with cool history, cool stories. It's worth checking out. It's definitely one of the top tier spots to go see. Also, if you enjoyed Henry Ford's mansion, the Dodge brothers, their mansion was up in North Detroit, and I believe it's the 3rd or 4th largest in the country, and you can go do tours of that for like $13 or $15 or something. Pretty reasonable. These things are pretty neat. You put $5 in and it injects plastic into a mold and makes you a little Model T to take home. Had to have something to bring home for the kids, you know. And that gift shop, they're really proud of the stuff in the gift shop. I'll tell you what, I feel every time I go in a gift shop, I feel more and more behind in the times as I see $85 sweatshirts and $45 coffee cups. I don't know. Maybe that's for some folks. I spend my hard-earned dollars on hot rod parts, so I don't think it's for me exactly. But hey, while I was here, they were showing a movie, Hot Rods and Muscle Cars of Detroit, I think. So I had to head over and grab myself a popcorn, a soda pop, and go find myself a seat. Let's check it out.
Totally unique creation, usually the product of the imagination of a small shop or an individual. And certainly in the 50s, in the immediate post-World War II period, hot rods were always produced by individuals.
You know, you can paint it any color you want. You can put any wheels you want on it. You can do the interior any way you want. That's what I'm talking about. There are no rules or laws.
I'm literally my dad, Jerry's son, car guy, but a natural car guy. Every single car we got, immediately the manifold came off, brand new, put a 4-barrel on it, and glass packs, no matter what. I worked at GM Tech Center once, which is an interesting story. You take these big tubes of whatever downstairs someplace on these golf carts or these big carts. And one day I just got bored, so I opened up one of these tubes and I laid it out. I go, yeah, that's gonna sell. And I'm looking at our drawings of cars, and it was the Camaro, but way ahead of the Camaro. I go, yeah, I'd trim the back up a little bit, but that's gonna be all right. And I'm roll that up, put it in, took another one out. Executive comes in, he goes, hey, what are you doing? I goes, I'm just checking out these blueprints. He goes, you're not supposed to be reading that stuff. But I realized that at that point that GM was a car company and they know what they're doing.
Those, of course, are just some highlights from the film. You should go check it out. That's got it playing over there full time. But next we went over to the Automotive Hall of Fame. Went and had a look-see around there. Pretty neat stuff, if I do say so myself.
You're a car guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you're local?
No, I'm
You're
from Oregon.
From Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to say the car in the corner is a 1903 Holly Motorette. This here, okay, briefly.
Yeah.
This is a wall that shows just an example of some of our major contributors. We're very much not a Ford museum.
Sure.
So we're more of a international body of information.
I think people forget that about Detroit.
Right.
Henry kind of overshadows it all, but
Exactly.
A lot of stuff happened here.
And the little speech that I give you at the beginning, even though I say we're separate from the Henry Ford and blah, 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 people still, you know,
The Henry
want us
Ford
to
Automotive Hall of Fame.
Right. So anyway, this here is the achievement exhibit. This is a temporary exhibit, but it has been up for over 2 years now.
Yeah.
Now this is looking at the efforts of 19 African American people who have done something significant in the auto industry. And the information is laid out on this wall in the form of a timeline. And then the people who are mentioned, their bios are more specifically mentioned on these walls. So for example, you see over there 1963,
Yep.
the original Bronco
McKinley
came out.
Thompson.
Mr. McKinley Thompson is the original designer of the first Ford Bronco.
That's cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's really neat. You know, one of the things that I learned really early about hot rodding and Bonneville and stuff like that, because I studied history a lot.
Bonneville and the salt flats and all that.
I see these early pictures and there's these black guys, you know, like at periods where there was not a lot of integration and stuff. And there's these black guys out there running cars. And then I started reading about it and guys talking about like, if we're all into the same stuff, who gives a shit, you know? Like, and they like, it's just like places, there are places. And it's so cool to me because I love hot rodding and that car scene so much. It's so cool to me that that's one of the niches that had a tear in it early on, where people just did what they want to do.
Say other stuff to you. Okay, wait a minute. I want to take one more thing.
She was a real nice gal. I really enjoyed talking to her. She loves her job, obviously, and I hope she gets to watch this video when it comes out. I told her I'd make her look good, so I don't think I had to do all that much to do that, but I appreciate her time and her passion for the automotive history. Pretty neat. She's a good person to have working here. It's a cool museum, though. There's a lot of information. Again, I'm not going to cover all of it. I'm just trying to give you guys some highlights of, you know, what a car guy should do out in Detroit, you know, or out in Michigan. And, of course, I mean car girls, too. So, you know, I'm not trying to exclude anybody. So nobody get all worked up in the comments. Or maybe you should. I could use as many comments as you can get. Crash dummy. Anyhow, I enjoyed touring around. There's a copy of, I believe, the first automobile, the three-wheeled deal that, was it Mercedes made or something like that. My mind's a frazzle, but yeah, pretty neat little museum. Next up, though, I'm going to take you guys out to the Gilmore. Now, the Gilmore was one of my primary reasons in coming. Again, there's a video already out on my channel. If you're interested in checking out the Gilmore, I got a great video I just released on it. And it is an incredible museum. They have a lot of really cool events coming up. And from what I hear, when they have cruisings and stuff, those are some of the coolest days to go out there and hang out. It's a stop for sure. Definitely go spend a day or two out there. It's worth it. It's about 2.5 hour drive from Detroit, but where I live, that's not a whole lot. Now, on my way home, I had to go check out the big boy and have a bite to eat. And I'm going to close out with some shots of Woodward Avenue. Another great stop is the Motown Museum, worth checking out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.